Today we have with us Regional Council Member, Secretary, WIRC, CA Murtuza Kachwala. The topic for the today is next generation audit tools, including data analytics, robotic process automation, process mining tools, etc. I, on behalf of JB Nagar Study Circle, welcome him. And I request all the members to keep their video on off mode, and questions can be asked in the chat box. I now request our past convener, CA Jayesh Shah, to introduce the today's speaker.
Good evening. Thank you, Seemaji, for giving me opportunity to introduce today's learned speaker, Mr. Murtuza Kachwala. Mr. Murtuza Kachwala is BCom, MCom, ICWA, internal auditor, ISO lead auditor, CISA, DISA, and whatnot. So his qualification itself, I think, goes on such a big. I'll not go on giving you all that details, but this gives us that our choice of a speaker is really appropriate for the subject. He is a present Regional Council member. He is serving as a Secretary of Western India Regional Council presently. He is a member of various, he has served as a committee member on various, he was chairman and subsequently chairman of a Kalyan Dombivli branch. He was convener for the Kalyan CP Study Circle. He is presently an advisory board of prestigious Management Institute of Pune Symbiosis. He has a vast experience of domestic and global on advisory of risk management and internal audit. Presently, he is a managing director of Protivity consulting company, and he is heading as a risk consulting and internal audit practice. He has served with a very prestigious multinational clients, to name a few: Mitsui Corporation, Hinduja, Vodafone, and is a regular speaker at various forums, prolific writer, prolific speaker. With this, I request Murtuza ji to enlighten us on a next generation audit tool, which is the subject very dear to his heart, and that it will help all the participants to have an overview of the new subject. Before that, I'll request Manish ji to just give a few words of wisdom on WIRC activity. Manish,
thank you, Jayesh bhai. Thank you, Jayesh bhai, for giving this opportunity. And this is what we are doing. Audit is the traditional way of doing audit. Now it's totally going to change. And I will say it is a 360-degree change what we are going to see. And we will not adopt to this new generation tool of audit, then we will surely be outdated. That's why today's topic is actually overview, you can say, what is going to be in future, what Murtuza bhai is going to tell us. And as far as Murtuza Kachwala is concerned, he is really very dedicated person and ready to work. 24/7 he is always available for WIRC. When the lockdown was announced, he was the first person to work very hard and had a tie-up with various technology platform for industry to start for WIRC to start a webinar. So immediately when lockdown was announced, he took the initiative and started the webinar online to serving the members. So really working very hard. So I will not take much of your time, because we are eagerly waiting for Murtuza bhai to show us that what is going to be future of auditing in India. Thank you. Over to you, Murtuza bhai.
Hello, Murtuzaji, one question. How you will take question answer at the end of the session is good, na?
So I'm quite okay. In between also, I can look through in the chat box, and if there is something I can cover, I'll cover. Otherwise, whatever is remaining will answer at the end.
Actually, generally we list out all the queries in the Word file, and
Sure.
then we will share Word file with you at the end of the session. If it
No
is
problem.
anything urgent, then only you can take in between. Otherwise, you can take the question answer at the end of the session.
Perfect.
Thank
So
you.
we'll keep 15 minutes towards the end.
Yes.
Even if we don't cover something, we'll stop at some place, and because there is too much to cover. So as I start, let me first thank Jayesh bhai for a very good introduction. Thank you, sir. I thank Seema and Krishna for inviting me today to speak to all of you or interact with all of you. I also recognize presence of Sanjeev Maheshwari sir. Sanjeev ji, my regards to you. I also recognize presence of Manish Gadia, my council colleague. And although Manish bhai gave me a lot of credit, but actually it was Manish bhai who also worked in identifying various softwares, and then we tied up with GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar. And I am sure many of you must be knowing, but those who don't know, initially we were using their office also for more than a month to conduct the WRC webinars. The WRC staff used to go to their office and do the work, like start the webinar from there. So thank you to the whole team, Sanjeev bhai and Manish bhai, for helping WRC in immediately starting initially. So that was great. I also recognize presence of CA Ibrahim Kothari. I actually trained with him and I worked with him, and he is in a way my mentor. He taught me the first time how to write an accounting debit and credit in Gujarati system, Rojmil and Khatawai. So I recognize his presence and thank him as well. Let me share my slides. So can you see the slides now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So what we'll do, friends, is today, see, like, I will not restrict myself only to the statutory audit. We'll look at statutory audit, we'll look at tax audit, we'll look at various consulting assignment, because today, if you talk to any CFO or any CEO, and including those which are in public domain, so Tata Consultancy as a company has gone and given a press statement saying that 70% of their workforce will never come back to office. And the CEO of Tata Sky, Harit Nagpal, he said, my team should not expect me in office 5 days a week now going forward ever in my life. So I will come to office 2 days or 3 days. And so like people are saying that how do we automate? How do we access data from wherever we are? How do we try to bring about more and more automation and reduce the or bring about more efficiency and do things in a better manner? So although we will not look at the whole IT parameter today, but we'll look at various tools which can be used by us and where we can play a management consulting role in helping organization in automation journey. So that everything I will try to cover by way of various case studies. And wherever things get complicated, I will use examples of purchase to pay, order to cash, depreciation working, interest working types, so that we understand how those tools can be applied. Okay. So wherever after every 20 odd minutes, I'll stop and I will get a sense check from Seema and Krishna also, whether my speed is okay, volume is okay, etc. But in any case, if you think I'm going somewhere way off, you can always stop me and we can again come on track. So with that, let us proceed ahead.
Yeah, I'm wondering what is happening to the world. Everything changing.
The very idea of human being some sort of natural concept is really going to change.
Our bodies will be so high tech, we won't be able to really distinguish between what what's natural and what's artificial.
Inside our own heads is the most complex arrangement of matter in the known universe.
You might ask yourself, can we get to be superhumans?
So we've seen a massive transformation from the time monkeys becoming human, and then what it was, the deserts and the land, and where we are now. And there are these 4 phases of industrialization. The first was steam. Second was electricity. So in steam era, machines or whatever equipments were run through coal. And then we went to electricity, where of course lot more utilization happened. Then we went into computing, and most of us who are about 40-50 years would have seen the first computer and the Excel maybe, and we started from there. And then is the last 20 years of our life where we're talking about the cognitive. And how has these 4 stages are impacted? And if you look at the world GDP, it took more than 100 years for the GDP not to even go up anywhere. And then the electricity, and then the computing, and then the cognitive. And you see where how the lead has been taken and how the GDP has grown after 2000. And I'm sure all of us will agree that in the last 20 years, we've seen things which we have never seen earlier. And Ola or Uber was never there. A Netflix was never there. Okay. And maybe a X and a Y and a Z, and you can keep on talking. And WhatsApp was also not there. Okay, maybe 5 years back. I'm saying, and these are the type of changes which have happened, and which has got impact also overall. Now, but what is very keen, what is very important, and the important thing is data. Okay, and anything that we do in our audit also, if you look at all the requirements which are coming in. So in most places, and I will talk about the internal financial control. And in the internal financial control, there are 2 requirements on statutory auditor. One, to see that each and every process in the organization is documented. That means the design. And then second, check whether whatever process has been designed is being implemented or not. So the operating effectiveness. And the auditor looks at 2 things in the internal financial control. And similarly, whenever anything goes wrong in an ILFS or in a Nirav Modi case, they say, what was people doing? Who was signing the letter of credit? How was the bank giving bank guarantee? Was there no processes? What was the internal auditor doing at the bank? What was the internal auditor doing in Nirav Modi's company? What was the statutory auditor doing? And in everything, what comes out is there madness or is there some method in madness? And when you say method in madness, do you have processes which are documented? And then are those processes being followed? But then even if the processes are documented, through the documented process, the transactions flow. And for the flow of transactions, for understanding, each transaction carries some data. So whether you send an SMS, then that message is a data. Whether you make a voice call, whatever you speak is a data. Whether you see a movie or a content, that is data. So there is data everywhere. Now, when I come to an SAP or Oracle or a Tally, and when I come to accounting data, what is important is the master data. And master data is the employee master, the vendor master, the item master. And transaction can happen only when purchase requisition किस पे raise करना है. So while I raise the purchase requisition, I need to select a vendor, that this vendor will give me so and so product. So whether that vendor master is created or not, and then that vendor sells so and so product, that is captured in a master or not. If you have to give GST input credit, then you need to know which vendor, and you have to select the vendor then. Or if you are purchasing something, the moment you select the vendor, the master will say that this vendor is for security guards, and hence it will collect the input credit accordingly. Okay. So the transactions are the daily purchase, sale, etc. And the masters are like the employee master, the vendor master, etc. And something which links both of them is a reference data. That okay, the item code, the employee code, the master, etc., etc. Now, I will not spend more time. As we progress, a lot of things will get clearer. So don't worry. Now, what we are saying is, it is in the industry 4.0, it has become so complicated with the growth in computing power. The sheer volume of data which is getting processed is too high. Second thing, anyone accesses anything from anywhere. So, like say, while you book an Ola or Uber, someone is booking an Ola on the same cloud platform, Bombay also, in Kalbadi also, in Kalyan also, and Dombili also. But then the system still receives all the data. It processes, it sends a message to the car in that particular area, and then the car driver calls you, कि sir किधर आना है, और address also goes, किधर आना है तो बाद में पूछना है. So then the computing is across, and the sharing of information happens to so many different points. Okay, and the network is integrated. So someone is using a mobile, someone is using a laptop, someone is using something, someone is sending an SMS, someone is logging through a Facebook or a Twitter or a Google. And the message, actually all the data gets captured in a particular thing. So it is an integrated network. And there are a lot of different languages or the tools or the techniques which are being utilized to process the data, to analyze the data and take it into a logical form. So data is very, very important. And if you know, people are saying that data is the new oil. And I'm sure people would have heard Mukesh Ambani last year in the AGM talking about the data as well. Question on the data. So with that, let us see what is the data like. So friends, certain pointers or questions which come out from this video for me. One, am I becoming a data scientist? Have I started acquiring those skills? Do I have a young guy or a couple of young guys in my office who can understand all these tools, techniques, and can I call them data scientists? Will I be able to support some organization doing something differently ever, or will I keep on doing what I'm doing lifetime? So that is the question. And the type of data which is generated and the manner in which we are living, our whole life is changing. But why then my practice should not change, or the work which I'm doing should not change? And a simple question. So like when I was a child, I used to go to a retail store and there was a Kirana guy. He was a proprietor, Pai uncle. And the Pai uncle knew what rice, what dal, what chawal. He used to purchase, he used to sell, he used to pack, he used to give it to me. Today, do you think the Amazon owners know what dal? Have they ever touched the dal or the rice ever? So maybe the owners don't even know what product they are selling in Amazon or Flipkart. People don't even know who are the customer. Have they ever seen the customer? Does the Ola owner ever see you? The answer is no. But he still makes some profit out of you. His revenue is dependent on you. Does he know the drivers who are driving the taxi? The answer is no. Does the OYO hotel own any hotel themselves, any building or room themselves? The answer is no. So Taj Mahal property, they've got so much investment in large buildings across globe, billions of dollars. बेच दो, किसका भी जगह लेके उसके ऊपर रेंट करो, होटल बिजनेस चलाने का, तो ये पैसा इन्वेस्ट करो एफडी में या किसमें. So I'm saying the competition is with a person whom you cannot compete with. So you have invested billions and he, without investing in anything, maybe by creating a tool and some venture capital or a PE fund gives him funding, and he comes and starts competing with you and start running the hotel business. And maybe his turnover is more than you, and maybe the hotel rooms which he has and the reach which he has globally in each and every town and each and every village and each and every system is much more than a large giant like Indian hotels maybe. So these are the points, and this is how the world is changing and the business is changing. And if the business is going through so much of disruption and the business is changing like this, then what does it need? The rapid speed at which innovation is happening and the new technologies which are coming. So when we did a study with the CEOs, CFOs, and the audit heads and the directors of large organizations globally, and this is across globe, they said the speed of disruption and the new technology is one thing challenge which we need to keep up with. And within our organization, sometimes resistance to change is the second. So both of these will have to be overcome if we have to compete. Now, coming to 4.0 audit. And once we look at this, we'll look at the tools, and then we'll again go ahead to a lot of other stuff. So, of course, audit 4.0 is based various technology, but 1.0, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who can relate to this. Manual audit होता था, pencil था, calculator था, green tick मारते थे, और वाउचिंग और पोस्टिंग का टिक मारते थे अगर लोगों ने AF Ferguson या वैसा टाइप का फॉर्म्स में काम किया है तो. Then I am talking, and we used to tally manual trial balances from the books. Then we are talking about the Excel, which is hardly in my lifetime, so 35-40 years back, maybe 35-30 years back, the first computer came, and then the Excel and the Word and the came. And after that, I am also talking about ACL, Audit Common Language and IDEA, or ECATS. If you have bought these softwares, and if you have queries written, and if you are using those software in selecting your sample and doing analytic procedure, then you are in 2.0. You are still in 2.0. Or if you are writing macros or VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP in Excel 2.0, that means you are a dinosaur. Okay. Comes 3.0, where people have started using data analytics in a big way by coding through an R or through an SQL. And then comes the 4.0, where there are continuous control monitoring, the audit automation. We are talking about IoT, means sitting at home, I can through my mobile switch off my light or start my fan or start my fridge at home. Okay. And that is where those are the type of, and I'm sure if someone has sat into the new MG Hector, the moment you come inside the car, you can start the car from your house. You can sit in the car and you can say, MG, please switch on my this thing, switch on the audio, and they will start. You say, MG, please start the roof, and it will start the roof. And you say, MG, so and so, and it is a voice recognition. You just speak and the action happens. So I'm saying those are type of equipments or the tools or the cars which you started using. And now how to analyze, how to control, how to build, and how to take it forward. So if we are using those assets, how do we audit those assets? Okay. Or how do we help the organization build control over that through a management control assignments? So I just tried to touch upon the industry 4.0, and I tried to touch upon where is audit 4.0, and then we come to the journey of risk assurance. And when I say risk assurance, the audit, the heading can be a little misleading, but I'm saying that it can be internal financial control, it can be SOX testing, it can be an enterprise risk management, it can be internal audit, it can be a external audit, it can be any management consultancy assignment, it can be writing policy procedure, or your client coming and telling you कि कुछ अलग तरीके से करने का है, तो क्या करूं बताओ, नया tools and technique क्या करूं बताओ. You can use all of those. And every assignment, okay, Sunil Damle has raised hand. I'll come to you, Sunil, in a minute. So in any assignment, there is risk assessment is the first stage, and then we do sample selection, then we do the process walkthrough. After process walkthrough, we do control testing, and then we do the final reporting. Let me stop for a minute and do the sense check. Manish bhai, Seema, or Krishna, whoever it is, are we okay with the speed, volume, etc.?
Yes, it is okay. No problem. You can continue.
It is
in the video, could you hear the music also?
Right. We are
okay. Okay, fine. So normally a typical audit or a consulting assignment is broken up into these 5 stages. And I am breaking it up into 5 stages. This is not something which is a like prescription. Breaking it up into 5 stages so that I can show you the way. And the first one is heat map. So if you are an internal auditor, then what is required to be audited next year? And what is low risk, what is medium risk, what is high risk? Or if you are doing external audit for a large organization and they've got 5 factories and 35 warehouses, and at the year end, if you want to do physical verification on test check, then which 5 warehouses you will select? Or which area is more important? Or when you are doing an internal financial control, and in India today it is internal control over financial reporting, so you'll have to break up the HR process into resourcing, which is a non-financial operating control, recruitment, which is an operating control. Then we are talking about the reward and recognition, which is maybe again an operating control. We are talking about payroll, which is a finance affecting area, and hence it is internal control over financial reporting. You'll have to do it. And then maybe you are talking about employee health, safety, and well-being, but health safety again can be an operating control. Now, so I have broken up the HR into 5 areas or sub-processes. Now, that way in a company, there are 80 sub-processes, and the management says that every quarter you do 2 audits as an internal auditor and do 8 areas. Then which of those 8 are high, what is medium, and what is low? So you need to have an audit universe for each industry, and hence there are tools which will give you for pharma, for manufacturing, for insurance, for life insurance, for non-life insurance, for banking, for mutual fund, for a real estate construction company. Databases are there which will break up the business into multiple processes and sub-processes. And these processes and sub-processes will come with some inherent risk. And once you plot the control of your organization, the client's organization, क्या policy procedure है कि नहीं, authority metrics है कि नहीं, maker checker control है कि नहीं, automated control है कि नहीं, once you start plotting all of those, then you will get the residual control, and these heat maps will give you various colors. That is whether a red, which is a low, or it is a green, which is a high, or red is a high, yellow is a medium, and green is a low. So that way, so the heat maps give you basis various inputs that you put. They tell you like what is low, medium, and high, and which quadrant they are. And if there is an impact and if there is a likelihood, then in that quadrant, where is what risk is process or sub process or risk is falling in which quadrant. So there are heat maps that you can use in risk assessment in the first stage, even before you accept the engagement. And if you are accepting an internoid engagement mein abhi there is something called as nature of assurance. And nature of assurance, you cannot give an absolute assurance. When you are giving absolute assurance, it is an agreed upon procedure assignment. So you can give a reasonable assurance or limited assurance. And before you accept and sign the engagement letter, you want to understand, okay, like when you are taking this assignment, what are the various risks, what will you have to look at, what will be a scope, what will be your effort. Then again, this type of tools can help you as well there. Risk qualification. Risk qualification is, someone will say and everyone will say कि cash handling is high risk. अगर cash होएगा तो चोरी होने का chance रहता है. So that is there. Someone says कि like when I am working in a civil construction site without having a rope or a shaft, then there is a chance that I will fall down. So that is a risk. So if something goes wrong, then this can happen. Something goes wrong, this can happen. So those type of things which are there on the basis of past happening, those are all captured here in this type of tools. And when you plot your situation, it will tell you okay, like what can go wrong. This is the past experience. So the past experiences are captured in the risk qualification tools. Social intelligence. How will a person behave in this situation? Okay, what will happen? So a lot of organizations, what they're doing is, if you go on Google, or sorry, let me talk about myself. So like once in a month, I book a movie ticket. So it is captured कि हर महीने में एक बार पिक्चर देखता है. कभी देखता है? संडे के दिन जाते हैं. कौन सा शो में जाता है? 6 बजे का शो में जाते हैं. कौन से एक्टर का देखता है? ये ज्यादातर सलमान खान का पिक्चर देखता है. That can be captured. This is the various social events which I have done. If I book a hotel table and if I go to a restaurant, then what type of food I love, whether it is a pure veg or whether it is a veg and non-veg or whether it is a X cuisine or Y cuisine, that all can be captured. And lot of stuff is available and that can be utilized for various assignment. And one assignment which we did as a firm was like in Bangalore, and I'll take some examples because it will not be then, otherwise we'll be running short of time. So in Bangalore, a guy who was an IIM and his wife, Maharashtrian from Maharashtra, relocated to Bangalore because of job. And all of a sudden, the wife decided to start some packed tiffin and send it to people. And she started serving Maharashtrian food, Puran Poli, this, that, because the friends were telling in the circle, कि like यहाँ पे अच्छा Maharashtrian restaurant में खाना नहीं मिलता है. And then they started getting more and more orders. And then they started their own restaurant. And the restaurant started getting full. And people started saying, like, we come from so-and-so location of Bangalore and we have to travel for 1.5 hours and 2 hours in traffic. Why don't you start one more unit? And they wanted to really find out how many Maharashtrians who are relocated and they are staying in Bangalore, and whether they are alone, whether they are with family, how much do they spend, etc., etc. And lot of market intelligence was picked up, lot of this social intelligence was picked up, and an assignment was done and given a report to them. Like, okay, this could be the number of, if you start in so-and-so area, then so many people are staying, and this could be the footfall, and this could be the revenue and X and Y. So prediction analysis can be done, and then you can give a report to your client before he starts the business or decides to invest. Some of this you may feel, what is this? But then this is a fact and this is a reality, and I'll show you some of the realities as well, which are being implemented already by lots of organizations. Statistical sampling, no brainer at all. And as we progress ahead, I'm sure we'll look at, but like say, see, gone are the days of samples checking. Although when you look at the SA, standard on auditing on sample and analytic procedure, and when you're doing it SIA, the internoid, there is an internoid SIA on sampling and so and so. Sampling is dependent on the frequency of control, and frequency can be a monthly, daily, yearly, daily recurring. So like if it is a bank reconciliation, then the frequency is monthly, and the sample size which you need to select as per the guidance note is minimum 2 or maximum 3. If it is a daily recurring control like petty cash, bank X or Y, then the minimum sample size is 25 and maximum is 40. But then now, when you select the sample of 40, or in your organization, if your client is 200 crores turnover and you decide that 200 sample select karna hai, how do you select those 200 sample? Either on judgment basis or statistical sampling method. Now, when you say judgmental method में क्या होता है कि जिसके पास से ज्यादा purchases किया है during the year, जिसके पास से high value item ले रहा है, या if while you are interviewing or interacting with employees and the employees say कि ये बंदा हमारा promoter का जानने वाला है and he gives bribe, then maybe you select those sample. That is judgmental. But we have all studied that sampling should be representative of the population. And when will it be representative of the population? When you take the nth number and you select the sample. Now, how do you select the sample? On the basis of a purchase requisition or a purchase order or a bank payment voucher or a X or a Y. So maybe you can take the whole purchase order ka dump. You can find out what is the last purchase order. You have to check first, professional due diligence, like whether all the serial number is there. Now they have not deleted anything from there. And then you need to say like how many sample you want to select. So there were 20,000 purchase orders released during the year. 200 sample you want to select. You divide by 200, you will get 100. First number will be 3, which will be random. Second will be 103, 203, 303. Now, all this statistical sampling, you don't have to do anything. There are tools available. Run the tool on the SAP or Oracle or the Tally, and it will select the sample. And you just say like whether you want to select on the with a purchase requisition, purchase order, bank payment voucher. It will select and view. OCR based scanning. This is optical character reader, and there is something called as ICR, which is intelligent character reader. And I will tell you about the Vodafone Shared Service Center in Ahmedabad and then in Pune. So across India, we all are, if whoever is using Vodafone, we are customer of Vodafone Mumbai Circle. Then there are Vodafone Maharashtra. Then there is Vodafone Gujarat. And in India, of the 130 crore population, Vodafone would be having 1/3, matlab 35 crores. And every month of the 35 crores, if there are like say 10 crores, which are like postpaid, so every month to raise 10 crore bills. And on the basis of each and every SMS, each and every voice, each and every volume, each and every download which you've done, everything has to be taken as per your different plans. It has to calculate and it has to do. Now, so such a large organization, it works a lot of technology. Now, Vodafone decided to set up a shared service center in Ahmedabad, and now all the vendors send the invoice. The invoice comes, someone just opens the courier, they remove the stapler pin, the scan, and the moment invoices are scanned, the optical character reader picks up the vendor name, the invoice number, the date, the item number, the party, and the tax rate, etc. And the accounting entry is done. And as of now, 97% accounting entry is done automatically. And how does that happen? It happens something like this. Then I again go back to my vendor master. In the vendor master, I need to write, okay, if it is like Seema, then she's a security vendor. If it is Krishna, then he's a gardener. If there is so-and-so, then he gives so-and-so product. And the moment item number or the code is picked up, then the master says that this guy is so-and-so supplier, so the entry is security charges account debit to X and Y. And then now, the moment invoice is scanned, the day invoice is scanned, it goes and sees into the master, okay, like what is the payment due date of this vendor? 30 days. Immediately a payment cycle is created and a payment file is ready. And once the payment file is ready, then the payment is required to be made. Now, payment also, no one cuts check. Gone are those 30 years back, people used to have those check with, they used to print on printer, large organization, और रात को उसको वो सब जो continuous stationery था उसको lock करके जाते थे. अभी lock का control नहीं है because continuous stationery नहीं है. Now the vendor master in Vodafone already has everything, okay, like what is the bank account number, which branch, the IFSC code, and the moment invoice is processed, 30 days, 60 days, 45 days of payment cycle, the payment due date is already calculated. Now there are some 2,000 bank account across India, because each city there is a retailer and they deposit money for prepaid, the postpaid, etc. All the money gets transferred into a pool account at the day end. From the pool account, the money gets transferred into a payment account. कि कल रात को 12 बजे कितना payment करने का उतना, that money gets transferred into a payment account. And one day prior, the file gets generated, like this is a payment which is due tomorrow. Someone checks the file and it sends to the operation team. The operation team says okay. The treasury team says okay. Once the okay is done, at 12 in the night, system automatically debits the amount from the company's bank account and credits into the individual customer vendor's account on the basis of the electronic payment system. Okay, so all of these can be done only by way of scanning and using your optical character reader, intelligent character reader, which can do your accounting, purchase invoicing, etc. automated. Now, I think in statistical sampling, I also covered about 100% population testing. But as we progress ahead, I will even touch upon that. Or if you want, I can touch upon here so that my life becomes easier earlier as we go ahead and I don't forget. So like say, now I talked about the sampling. What about if I want to do analytics on the whole population? So what is the analytics? Simple cheez. Purchase requisition पहला होना चाहिए क्या purchase order पहला होना चाहिए? So of course we can do comparison of two data in Excel also if the volume is less. Otherwise through a software or a tool. And अगर किधर भी purchase requisition बाद में issue किया है order होने के बाद, so that is an exception. Now order should be first or GRN should be first. So of course order should be first and then the material received, goods received note. Can the GRN quantity exceed the PO quantity? So these are various type of things. On the whole population, 10,000, 20,000, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, few lakhs, everything can be done. But if you want to see, okay, has someone processed a payment on a Saturday or Sunday? Of course, system can do it. You want to see whether someone issued material at 12 in the night? क्योंकि रात को 12 बजे मेरा warehouse बंद रहता है, 10 बजे बंद हो जाता है. So if someone has done that, you can pick up. So you can write any type of query and you can do 100% population testing by writing the queries. Now, one more important thing I'll touch and then I'll go ahead. So split PO. Every organization has got authority metrics. Okay, Murtuza can raise a purchase order up to 50,000. 50,000 to 5 lakh, it will go to his boss. 5 lakh to 25 lakh will go to X and Y. So assuming Manish Gadia's limit for raising a purchase order was 10 lakhs and he had to give some work to Murtuza Kachwala, and because I am his friend, he said कि 15 lakh का काम है, तो आज 8 lakh का PO देता हूँ, कल 7 lakh का PO देता हूँ, so that it does not go to my boss and he does not know. So he splits the purchase order into two. In my internal financial control or in my internal audit or while doing my statutory audit, if this leads to a fraud or a purchase from a related party or a excess purchase or purchase at a higher value, how do I check? So someone has to tell me, then only I can go and check, I need to see this or I need to see this, or on a random basis I'll take some vendors or some employees. But here, by doing 100% population, by writing queries, by doing tools, what you can do is, same employee raising the purchase order on the same vendor, the whole dump will be picked up. And that will be compared with the authority matrix table. कि 10 लाख रुपया अगर मनीष गड़िया का authority limit था, तो 20% या 50% variation. 5 lakh से 10 lakh के बीच में कोई भी PO raise किया, वो सब exception report में आ जाएगा. And once it comes into exception report, then I can do the checking and go and check the voucher. So what you need to write, it is a CS brain which will say, कि same employee on the same vendor purchase order, compare with authority metric. This is the coder does not understand. The coder will do the coding. Now, these type of queries can be written in ready-made software like ACL and IDEA. And these type of queries can also be written by any one of us by using open source like R. R is free of cost available, open source. SQL is a closed source license product into by license. And you can run those type of queries as well. So that is on the planning and sampling. Then we go to process mining. Am I okay up till now or any challenge here?
No, it is okay. Going good.
Okay. This slide takes a little time. After that, the speed will catch up again a little. Because there are a lot of slides which are only for reading, which I'll just scan through fatafat and then get to some tools, real tools. Process mining. Process mining, I'm not spending time here. I will show you some tools on process mining and it will be very clear. Data discovery. Of course, data discovery is very, very important. And like say if someone tells you कि vendor master का analysis करो, and when you start analyzing vendor master, you realize कि same bank account दो vendor का है. Possible है क्या? हो सकता है. एक ही vendor का 2 या 3 बैंक अकाउंट है. एक ही वेंडर का 5 या 6 अकाउंट है. TTSL, टाटा टेली सर्विसेज, TTSL महाराष्ट्र, TTSL मुंबई, TTSL Pune. Now, when they are purchasing from 5 vendors, 5 different people, you don't know okay, what is the total purchase, and hence you cannot do bulk buying or bulk decision. So, checking all those vendor master, the customer master, the employee master, and cleaning all the data is very important. And a lot of stuff happen. So a large organization which has got ports across globe, ports, and ports, there are a lot of consumable and spare part which are utilized in various things. And the inventory value sitting in the balance sheet is 1,000+ crore. The promoters want to know which item is slow moving, which item is non moving, which is an excess purchase, where there is a by mistake inventory is lying there, or someone purchased it wrongly, or X or Y. So when they wanted to discover this is simple information. And when we got the assignment and when we went there, so someone is using SAP, someone is using Tally, someone is using a manual register, or someone is doing something. So then you will have to bring out all the data, and then you cannot do for 20,000 items. You have to select 100 items, take the data from these multiple sources, location, and plot it into an Excel, and then do a total. But then again, map ke kaun se tarikh ko aaya hai, then do an aging. So everything will have to be done in Excel, and then you will be able to give a result. And that means what? We said, bhai sahab, first prepare an item master. Then you select one SAP or one tool or one inventory management system, and implement that inventory management system across globe on all the ports with the same codes. And then you will know that the screw of 1 inch kitna hai, or screw of आधा inch kitna hai, or screw with round head is how much and flat head is how much. Otherwise, how will you know? And there are 20,000 items that you have. Okay, so I'm saying that is what the data discovery and data cleansing assignments come. I'm sure each one would have seen in the COVID time, there was something on the virtual inspection which we saw on the TV. So initially, in the first month, I remember, and I was amused. We feel कि Indian police force क्या है, ये लोग कुछ कर नहीं सकता है. But in a state like UP, the police used drones, and the drones took photograph, and they said that children are playing cricket. I'm sure news में देखा होगा आप लोग ने आज तक में. And there were so many days it carried the drones were used to spread chemical in COVID time in the last 2-3 months. And that is what is virtual inspection. So in a manufacturing factory, the company says that while doing welding, goggles पहनना चाहिए, welding glass रखना चाहिए, और फिर welding करना चाहिए. Yeah, if you are going into the factory and where there are grasses in the rainy season, you should wear gunboot. If you are going inside the factory, you should wear helmet. Every day I cannot go and check. Put a drone will keep on taking photos. Photo आएगा, photo निकालो, देखो, जो employee ने नहीं किया उसको पकड़ो, या वो area पकड़ो. अगर employee का photo नहीं भी आता तो वो area पकड़ो कि ये plant area में ये हुआ था. So you don't need to have a police guard or a security guard standing there every day. You don't need an auditor to keep on coming and looking and checking whether किया है कि नहीं किया. You just have a drone and you can do the virtual inspection. Similarly, अगर real estate construction का building में बाहर से painting कर रहा है, and whether he is coming with a shaft and the rope is properly tied, and whether he is wearing a helmet or not, photos can be taken. And while they are putting a slab, तो उसके अंदर कितना steel use हुआ, कितना cement use हुआ, उसका भी photo हो सकता है. That is virtual inspection. I hope I have answered that, and people are using this in internal assignments and in management consulting assignments and in catching frauds. So these are not stories. These are being used, and everything is on there on Google. You can search Google use of drones in some assignment, audit, etc., construction audits, and you will get videos and you will get the this thing, like how and where it was used. Okay. Integrated analytics. Again, so like you can have a tool. You can look at the data, which is the master and the transaction data, and along with that, you can do some other analytics as well. And it can give you not only the variations in the quantity, the rate, the transaction, but it can also throw you various trends, like why it happened, how it happened, who does a purchase, etc., etc. So there are tools which are available. Continuous control monitoring. it is an interesting thing, and maybe here also I will spend couple of minutes, and then I think I will proceed ahead, because then we'll be completing the hour, and then we'll have a lot more to cover in the next hour as well. So I'm sure some of us have heard the concept of 3 line of defense: first line of defense, the second line of defense, and the third line of defense. और काफी सारा थियरी मैं बाहर निकाल रहा हूं आज, लेकिन थोड़ा सा so that we can connect also. First line of defense is if the company is written a policy procedure, and if you are telecom customer and you call up the helpline or a credit card, अपने सबके साथ में experience हुआ होगा, credit card का delay हो गया एक दिन से, तो we call up the customer care center and we tell them कि I have been your customer, I am using the credit card for last 2 years, this is the first time I have delayed और आपने late charges लगा दिया है, can you waive? And the person waives it if it is in his authority limit. So that is the first line of defense, that the operator or the team lead in a insurance policy, whether the insurance policy to be given to you or not, how much amount to be given to you, that is the guy who checks your document. That is the first line of defense. While opening the bank account or not, saving bank account आपका open करना है कि नहीं करना है, आपको लोन देना है कि नहीं देना है, आपने enough mortgage दिया है कि नहीं, तो वो पहला लाइन में कोई चेक करता है. That is the first line of defense. After that, his manager or his reporting boss needs to look at some report, some Excel, some variation, GP ratio, NP ratio, ये ratio, वो ratio, last month कितना employee था, ये महीना कितना employee, last month कितना payroll था, ये महीना कितना payroll है, X, Y. That is the second line of defense. And then the internal auditor is the third line of defense. And after that, the statutory auditor comes in. Now, what is happening is, like if I talk about my earlier example of procure to pay, we did PR versus PO, PO versus GRN, GRN versus this. We did rate comparison also. Okay, like if in my master I got 4 vendors and they are selling the same product, then which vendor is the lowest cost one and from whom I am purchasing, whether I am purchasing from the lowest cost or from someone else. If I am buying a laptop, last year laptop का rate क्या था, current year का क्या है, rate कम हो रहा है, तो कम होना चाहिए, बढ़ क्यों रहा है? Now, when I do all this control and give an exception report and do a verify and give the report to the management, management says कि हर महीना query run करेगा, मेरे को हजारों exception देगा, उससे चाहिए you give the query to me, I will tell someone in my team, the CFO says I will tell someone in my team to run the query. And that is when these queries which you have written as an internal auditor or as a consultant, they are given to the CFO, and the CFO puts his team to keep on running on a regular basis, and it becomes a continuous control of monitoring, or it becomes a second line of defense. Okay, so I try to explain, but I'm sure we'll do something else also. Again, there are some other slides and we'll try to cover. Some organizations do it. Anyone and everyone on this team can do it. Today we got 215 people. Procure to pay का query एक ही बार लिखना है. Order to cash का query एक ही बार लिखना है. You go and start approaching multiple clients and tell them कि give your data, put into my folder or put into your data warehouse. I'll run my queries. I'll give you the report. So you don't need to invest in coding. And some organizations have have prepared all these queries for each and every process: interest calculation, deposition calculation, X, Y, Z. And the organization writing queries would mean having a coder and programming, and one query writing may need 1 lakh rupees. But here what he says is, I'll run 10 query for you for 50,000, 5,000 rupees per query. Just give the data. I'll give you the exception in 24 hours. So that is analytics as a service. Now, if I move ahead on the reporting, there are a lot of dashboards and there are front-end viewing solutions like a Tableau, and Tableau dashboards are really colorful, and I'll show you some of them. But like this will give you all the exceptions on your mobile also, on your computer also, on your mail also, and automatically it will be sent. But what I'm saying is there are interactive dashboards also. So assuming I am CFO of a company And one of my guy comes and tells me, okay, we will buy this product in this Diwali. And because the Diwali season is coming and this will be sold and 20,000 unit will be sold. And I have to invest in making the mold for that. If I am the CFO, I just say like, okay, if this 20,000 becomes 18,000, how much will it be? What will be the revenue? What will be the cost? Whether it will be profitable or not? तो बोलता सर मैं वापस जाता हूँ एक्सेल में सब कैलकुलेशन करता हूँ लाके दिखाता हूँ. Here you have a dashboard where all of those calculation will be captured in that. You can just keep on making the changes and you have the answer. And there are a lot of these dashboards which are even used for finance planning, analysis, budgeting, the budget versus actual, the forecasting, the rolling forecast, etc., etc. Lot of dashboards are used. Automation, workflow automation can be used in SAP, Oracle, Tally, normal, any tool, any software, any system. And workflow automation is a simple process. Okay, like what is the first step? Purchase requisition. Who can raise how much? Then it will go to home for purchase order. After purchase order, where the material will come? Who will do the quality check? Who will do this? Who will do that? The step-by-step approach is documented, implemented into your system. And if that person does not do that, it will not move to the next person. And whether it is a call center, if a particular complaint as a front-end call center agent, if I cannot, then I'll move it into the next bucket, it will go to the team lead. But if I don't move into the bucket, it will not go. So the moment you click or do that press or action, it goes. Why? Because the workflow says that if you do this action, it will go here. If you do this action, it will go here. And the last one, NPL based report writing. So there are ready-made tools which will also help you in report writing. So like they don't only give you graphs and charts, कि कितना rate variation है, कितना ये है, कितना वो है, but on the basis of all those graph and chart, they also write some English report and paragraph for you. Okay, like so many sample was selected, this was the exception, this is what happened, this is what happened. Lot of theory, I know, boring, but this one slide I'll need to spend some time again, and 5 minutes on this slide, and then we'll go ahead fast, because then a lot of theory slides I'll skip, and then we'll go to some tools, real tools and video, and how does it work, you will know that. So generally, if there is an SAP or Oracle or Tally, for filing GST return, what do? I remove from my first run the trial balance. From the trial balance, I remove like liability 5%, 8%, 18%, 28%, 0% exempt, whatever are the various liability code. What are the various input credit code for IGST, for HGST, for this. And then I compare कि ये इसका इसके सामने input credit adjust करूँगा. If it is too complicated and everything is there, different products. And then I put everything into an Excel. And then from that Excel, I upload into the utility or go and start punching into the form or whatever, and then I file my return. And same goes across any internal audit process or any process. So like I was talking about the procure to pay. In procure to pay, I was saying, like someone will have to pull the data and then see the purchase requisition date was a PO date was a GRN date, PO quantity. Here, once you have that Oracle or SAP or Tally or whatever master and the data, you can write a RPA, robotic process automation ka bot. And you say run, and the bot will go put you a user ID, password, download the data which you defined and put it into a folder. And once the data is put into the folder, then you will have some tools. Those tools will check कि वो master के अंदर जो भी PO का dump निकला है, उसके अंदर vendor code है क्या नहीं, vendor नाम है क्या नहीं, ये है नहीं, वो है नहीं, everything that will check. And if there is something missing, then it will say that this is an exception, remove it there. Because if some fields are not missing, then the analysis will not happen properly. So the data quality profiling will happen there. And after the data quality profiling is done, there are some process mining tool. If you run the process mining tool, you can do the process mining and you will identify the process gaps. And after the process gaps are identified, you can run the queries, data analytics queries on the same data to get the data exception. And once you get the data exception, then you can go and do the physical voucher checking and asking questions and getting a lot of stuff to do the root cause analysis. And once the root cause analysis is done, on the basis of process mining and the data exception, the dynamic reporting happens. And on the basis of NPL based tools, your report writing is also automatically done, and report writing can also be done by some of the bots. So this is how you use all these tools in the new age auditing. Now, practically, whether they are usable or not, it is all theory that we can see going forward from here. And some slides are fatafat. So like, okay, challenges. Of course, whenever you talk to any company, tell them don't do everything together. एक process लो, inventory लेते हैं, fill complete inventory, then we'll go to procure to pay, then we'll go to something, don't invest so much. Do it piecemeal. The highest level of the company, the board, the audit committee should be, they should be aligned. अगर align नहीं होएगा और top से order नहीं आएगा, it will fail. So there are all of these challenges which are there. The IT system should be good, the data should be good, the tool should be available. You should have a mandate, and then you will be able to go and do the work. Okay. Let me move ahead. Procure to pay. Everyone knows in procure to pay there is a master, vendor master. Then there are transactions which happen, like I said, PO, PR, etc. This, and then there are so many other things. Now, what are the various stages in procure to pay? So I have listed all the stages here. Sourcing, पहला काम है forecasting. Sales target क्या है? On the basis of sales budget, the purchase budget, on the basis of purchase, production, sales के basis of production, production के basis of purchase, and even before purchase, there's a reorder level and XYZ. The forecasting, planning, these are the various functions. Then there's the whole contract management. Then you look at the various this thing. Then you look at the accounts payable and transaction, where you do three-way matching and PO, invoice, etc., etc. And then there is vendor master and supplier master. So I have broken the whole purchase to pay, whether it is a capex or whether it is opex or whether it is a service, into multiple things. This is a good for reading. You can have a look at it. Let me move ahead. Now, here I am giving you some example of the type of analytics that you can do only in procure to pay. And if you look at first one, split invoicing. If an invoice is done on 12th and again done on 13th, that means he could have made one invoice. Why is he making two? Do you expect within 7 days or 10 days 2 invoices from a vendor? The answer is no. He could have made one. So split invoices can be picked up. Okay. Then goods ka quantity received versus the quality, or X or Y. Invoice number, multiple checks. Vendor discount, which vendor is getting how much discount? Does he get a bulk discount or X or Y? And then, like, have you purchased more than what is required, or what is the average purchase every month, and how much have you purchased every month? This month have you gone and purchased something more? So there could be different type of things which will be there. Now, in a procure to pay, you can write some 80-90 queries differently, but I have broken this into different things. So like the fraud indicators. What are the fraud indicators? Duplicate payments, suspicion payment date, 26 January payment made, 1st May payment made, Saturday, Sunday payment made. Who makes payment on Sunday when the company is closed? So from the system that can be picked up. Suspicious purchase. You don't purchase this type of item, all of a sudden something else purchased. Suspicious vendor. So there are different type of queries which you can write, and you can run the queries. Then ratio analysis, of course. TDS as a percentage of expense, X, Y. Multiple vendors for the same bank account. Multiple vendor having the same bank account. Payment to employees. Normally, employee only salary is paid. If there is anything other than that, it is paid, then it can be reimbursement. Nothing should be else should be there. You can do the date sequencing, okay, whether dates are coming in order or not. In the vendor ledger also, you can do multiple things. For the same invoice, if the 2 payments are made in a year, electricity, normally 1 bill, 1 payment. Security charges, 1 bill, 1 payment. In a month, 2 payments are made. It will be picked up. Then you will see, and it can be genuine also, if that last month it was not paid, so it was paid on 1st of this month, and this month again on the last day. Okay, something like that can happen, but you can get the exception report readily. You don't need to go and analyze the ledger. So there are these multiple things which you can see through multiple this thing. Okay, let me go ahead. Once you done analytics for different factories, different depots, different warehouses, you can even do a tracking, okay, like which thing is going wrong where, and you can do a comparison or a benchmarking also, and you write this thing, and it will automatically do everything and give you a report. Now, data governance, I'm not spending much time, but I'll move fast because we'll go ahead to something more important, which is of interest to us. Data I have talked about, master data. Master will have to be very clear. Data cleansing will have to be done. And if you get into an assignment of the whole data management or data master or data cleansing, then there are various phases. First, identify, okay, like which item code, how the master, even a simple thing where they want you to create a chart of accounts. there is a holding company, there are 3 or 4 subsidiary company, and they want to do automatic consolidation. So they want you to create a chart of accounts. What will you do? First, understand each and every business of each and every company. What account codes for revenue do they need? Are they same or different? What expense account code do they need? Are they same or different? That is the first phase. Second phase, who is responsible for what? Start meeting them, planning interview, getting the data. Give me the policy procedure, give me your trial balance, give me your volume, give me your number. How does it happen? What is the system? Tally, SAP. Basis everything, then you design, okay, this is a standard format, this is how it will be done, these are the codes which will be created. And then you will go and give it to someone who will do the coding. And after the coding is done, you will do the checking. And everything is fine. You will do one consolidation and then you will hand over to them and come out. These are the 4 stages which we are talking about. Let me go ahead a little. Drivers for data governance audit. I think it is a good reading material. You can read. DAMA is also a good reading material. Okay. And there is a lot more. I have just given you one slide. So the whole data management and the whole data this thing, there is a lot of material which is available. Now, here again, data governance, data architecture, data modeling and designing, reference data, metadata. So what are the various stages? I have given you in detail. Okay, at each stage in a data assignment, what will happen? I am focusing, I want to focus today on data. We can do a separate session. I want to focus today on the tools for audit. So that is the reason I am going a little ahead, but I have given you reading material so that you can read. And data profiling, cleansing, consolidation, maintenance. No worries. Let me go ahead. Okay. At many times we say judgmental. And on the basis of what happened with me in the past, I say ये client के उधर वो accountant duffer है, तो वो mistake करता ही है. Okay. And this client will give you the data only on 29th of the month. Okay. He is always a latecomer. X, Y, Z. So there are all of these judgments, but at times the judgment fails. So is judgment or like a professional method at all? So what is happening is like there are various these type of analytics or the happenings which are captured, and on the basis of happening you get an impact. Like okay, if this happens, you will do this. If this happens, it will do this. Okay, and there are multiple locations. So 2 factories, A and B. Then there are processes A, B, C, D. And then there are branches and customer segment. And then there are rate and quantity. So all of these inputs come. On this input, you also add what are the type of people, whether they are good, bad, ugly there. What is their habit, X, Y, Z. What has gone wrong in the past. In that factory, do they have a fraud? You put everything. Then you write the layer of all the tools and technique. And on the basis of that, you get various results. And when you have the results ready, then that is what it is. And that is what is a study. So with that, I think I have covered the theory part of it and I'm moving into the tools. And I think we are on time. So that should not be a problem. Process mining, voice analysis, contract management, and then we will go to robotic process automation. So if you walk into a government organization or even into a large organization, there is so much of paper and so much of data. Now it has to be scanned and then it needs to be read.
In every large company, many processes are running at any point in time. Today, they are managed with the help of IT systems, and every process leaves its digital footprints within the system. Vast quantities of data accumulate, big data. Celonis analyzes this data in real time. What can we learn from the data? Corporate process transparency. Errors are overlooked. This leads to inefficiencies in purchasing, loops in logistics, bottlenecks in production, and financial fraud. Time is wasted. Process costs skyrocket. Quality suffers. And ultimately, your customers will be unhappy. Celonis process mining technology gathers all process trails together in real time and visualizes them in the blink of an eye. Deviations from the optimal process, bottlenecks and other process obstacles can be recognized at a glance. Understand the most frequent process flows and learn where your process performance suffers. Get a completely new perspective and stay one step ahead of the competition. With Celonis.
So I am not marketing Celonis at all. Celonis is one process mining tool. There are multiple process mining tools. Could you hear the music also?
Yes.
Okay. So let me now show you two videos on procure to pay and order to cash, Celonis. And it will be real life. You look at the volume, you know how the processing happens, you know what are the various charts and graphs. And then we go on to the other tools. And process mining, how do we fit in? We've spoken about, but I'll again try and summarize it.
Purchase to pay, often abbreviated P2P, refers to the business processes that cover activities of requesting, purchasing, receiving, paying, and accounting for goods and services. Let's log in and discover how you can use Celonis to improve your purchase to pay process. The P2P process shown here belongs to an exemplary large medium-sized company. Let's call them eXp Productive. The volume of sales per year is around $1 billion, and the company has about 2,000 employees. Our smart Celonis algorithms uncover the real process in the raw system data. There is no need for lengthy interviews or reality assessment projects. Just push a button. Now let's move on and see what Celonis really is about. We now see the Process Explorer, one of the core functionalities. The Process Explorer shows different activities which are part of the purchase-to-pay process. Currently, you can see the most common process variant with all its activities. This leads to the total amount of cases shown. While we have 279,020 P2P cases all in all, only 39% are currently shown. We can dynamically change to the next most common variant by clicking here and see how the percentage increases to 52% or 66% in case of the third variant. To keep track of all different paths, Celonis also provides the opportunity to highlight each process flow by clicking the play button. Let's take a look at the graph. We can see 37,000 cases in which the price needed to be corrected after the purchase order has been sent. If we assume that every price change takes about 20 minutes to clarify and execute, we see that nearly 2 years of a single person's work is wasted in a single step. But let's dig deeper into eXp Productive's data. Move on to the fourth variant and visualize its process. In 18,938 cases, an invoice has been scanned even before the purchase order has been created, which is violating corporate compliance policies. This can have many reasons. One could be employees in the production department directly contact a possible vendor and order materials without the involvement of the purchasing department. While it's difficult and time-consuming to detect problems like this in your ERP system, Celonis can show you the affected process and root causes in a matter of seconds. Process weaknesses hide in small details, but with the proper Explorer, you can see all of them at once. Just increase the percentage of the cases to 100%, and you will see how your actual processes look like. The full view reveals all inefficiencies and the complexity in your as-is processes, where you lose time, money, margin, and customer satisfaction. But it's not only the amount of related cases that is important when analyzing processes. Celonis offers a variety of options to identify weaknesses. Let's say eXp Productive would like to know the throughput of all included activities. No problem. If we click on the top left icon to switch to the throughput time, we see how much time each step takes. In the case of the price changes, as mentioned before, it does afford a lot of time to change all those prices in the SAP system. But how much time does it exactly take? As you can see now, this on average adds another 9 days to the process, simply caused by price changes. We just discovered several process inefficiencies and weaknesses. So what's next? Let's move on to a second worksheet. You can click on a specific type of case and, for example, see the different processes of all our exemplary companies' P2P cases in a single month. What's more, you can combine different filters, like a specific company and a specific time period. If we open up the same process from the beginning with the scan of the invoice and order the table on the right by vendors, we can see detailed information about which companies are more or less contacted without communicating with the purchasing department. As you can see, one company, IDIS Corporation, is part of this process variant in 9,000 cases with a value of almost $54 million. By adding the vendor as a filter, we can not only see its Process Explorer, but also its performance during the year. A very noticeable peak is in September and October. The eXp Productive Management could now start from there and check how the problem is caused. If necessary, we could, at any time of the analysis, change the view to the cases table and check all information in the source data set. Would you like to dig even deeper into P2P or analyze a whole different process? Celonis offers a large and unmatched selection of ready-to-use analysis to make your processes much faster and explore topics like process automation, changes made to orders, unnecessary rework, and interruptions. Nearly every answer to questions about your company's processes is hidden in your data. Celonis is the key to visualize, understand, improve, and monitor them in real time and end-to-end. Let's change the way you run your processes forever.
So these videos are available on Celonis website as well. You can download the videos from there for different processes. You can understand how does it work. And as we progress, the next one is order to cash. But I'm not spending time on the order to cash process. I'm sure the video is available. I can share also. You can have a look. And we'll talk about order to cash also.
It pertains to
but the
business
thing
to business
is,
and business to
so
consumer
I'm moving
sales.
ahead a little. So the thing is, like these process mining tool will help in multiple ways. Okay, so like when we have completely like the client is on SAP or Oracle or whatever, we go and do the whole process check-in. Okay, purchase requisition, purchase order, GRN, invoice. We go to people, we ask for data. We look at X, Y, Z, like how many orders were changed. If the orders were subsequently amended, then whether the same person who had given the original order has done the amendment or not. So there are so many checks which we do in the process. All those checks can be done by this process mining tool. The process mining tool, now Celonis was a leader. There are some other which have come and they can be used. Now some young consultants, chartered accountants, what they have started doing is they buy this process mining tool and they give it as a service to the companies, and they tell the client that you give the data in a particular folder or in a data warehouse. I'll run my tool so that you don't have to buy your tool. I will buy a multi-user. I will run on your data and I'll tell you where are the process gaps. So if you do this on the whole data, then selection of sample, preparing the checklist and writing each and everything, PO is there or not, PR is there or not, 3 quotation there or not, comparative statement is there or not, everything can be eliminated, and you can get the various exceptions for different type of this thing. Now, of course, here you given like what are the various things. There are some reduced cost, more efficiency, less processing time, etc., etc. I'll share all the slides, and I'm sure we can read through all this English as well. So now, how does it happen when you use this whole Celonis tool? How much process time it saves? 25%. How much throughput time it saves? 37%. How much transparency and compliance? No manual error at all. No chance of like finding out something but not documenting. So 100% compliance and transparency can come out. Now, on the basis of these various charts and graphs, all the data is there in the system. You can drag and drive, and you can get various types of charts, bars, grams, etc., which you can use as annexure in your report. So some of the benefits of process mining: understand the whole process, how does it move, reduce manpower, increase efficiency, X and Y. Okay, and overall process mining overview, if I have to implement the process mining thing for any organization, again, the first thing is I will have to go and understand, okay, what is the IT environment, what is the as is process, how the work is happening, whether they've got a documented policy procedure. Before running this tool, what type of fields or master or data is required, get those things corrected, then see like what, if you want, you can make some changes in the tool that, okay, they don't have a purchase requisition, remove that, the process will start from purchase order. So map the tool with the data and the system that is available with the client. And after that, you implement and start running. And once you start running, then you train the people and hand over to them and you come out. So this is one consulting assignment which we can do, even if the client wants to buy their own tool. Okay. Now, with that, I think we can move ahead. I will again stop in some time and then take some questions. And last, in any case, 15 minutes, we're going to take some questions. So I'm moving to a voice recognition tool. So like in a call center, this can be utilized for the call center client. And then you know, okay, like where all you can utilize, you will definitely know that. Again, so I'm not marketing record, sure. Okay. It is one voice analytic tool and there are many. So in a call center, there are 2,000 employees or 20,000 employees working in 3 shifts. And they receive call after call, call after call, call after call. How do you do audit of those calls? Can someone read and listen to all 20,000 calls? What did he speak? The answer is no. So you check on test check. Now this tool will help you in doing on a total population. Did he start shouting? On the basis of the tone of the voice, it will bring out an exception. Did he use bad words? So the bad words can be captured. It will compare and it will say, yes, he used so-and-so word. Did he use password? Yes. He asked for password. Should he ask password? Answer is no. Did he ask for date of birth? The moment I will have to say, no, sir, help me with your date of birth. The moment I say date of birth, it will be captured by the tool, if that is an exception. So in the tool, you define the exceptions, let the tool run on all the calls which many people have done again and again. And on the basis of all those fact parameters which you have defined, it will throw up the exceptions. That means your 20,000 employees some 2 million calls will be broken up into some 20,000 calls, which ultimately you'll have to manually listen to and see whether there's a garbage or not. And with so many frauds happening, where people calling up, fooling the customers, getting details, this is becoming so more important. And while I am doing internal audit of a call center, or if I am doing audit of a large ITS company, and one of their business vertical is this, and if I have to report on the internal financial control, and maybe I may want to use this tool somewhere, I don't know. Or if I'm appointed to do a fraud investigation, and I may want to use this tool to understand like how the fraud transpired, and whether is it only for these 5 cases which are highlighted or customer complaints, or is it to a larger audience, and I can run this tool and get lot more exception of the similar nature from all the recording for 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 1 year, 2 year, and then try and find out where the problem happened. Let me move ahead. So now coming to the document management tool, and so like our lawyer sent over a 60 pages contract renewal, I need to review. He says, okay, compare with the original, word by word comparison with the original. Are there any changes? How many versions? What changes happen from last to this? We keep on doing that. When you do a final statutory audit signing, and there are so many like the main audit report, the internal financial control, the notes to account, the this, the that, and if you're doing 10 companies, then every time you make changes, you have a manuscript, and someone bring the changes, then you again check with the manuscript and you see whether the changes have happened or not, and then only you put your sign to that. So there are a lot of controls which we place in. So here we are. So a large legal department of your organization, of your client, they sign so many contract after contract, or their vendors come up with their own contract and this company has got their own contract. They want to see the professional liability. They want to see the indemnity. They can see that. If you are a large office, you create, every time you go to a new client, you sign an NDA. You sign an engagement letter. Your standard engagement letter is different and your client gives you a different engagement letter. You want to do the comparison or track changes. For your report, you want to do the comparison or track changes. You put that word and the contract will review, and it will, the tool will give you the word. The tool will take you to that paragraph. Liability, insurance, court of law, arbitration, X and Y. So I'm saying now, when I get an assignment and I'm doing, and in that assignment, there are 20,000 contracts which I need to review. I do on test check basis on 5 or 10 because there are 50, 100 pages. How much Word document will you read? But here there is a tool which can be run, and it can be PDF, it can be Word, anything. It can be scanned, it can be put, and the tool can read and it can give you whatever you want. So let me move ahead a little then. I'm trying to show the different type of tools and products which are available. What can be used, how can be used, that we can see. And these are only the tip of the iceberg. There are lots and lots and lots of them. We will have to Google, we'll have to study on our own. Okay. Now data. So like, let me give you one example. In a telecom company, postpaid billing or prepaid billing has become so less. There is no voice revenue. SMS is free. So there is a data revenue or X or Y. So how does a telecom company survive? So one telecom operator in Qatar said, okay, like whenever my customer does any action using his mobile, all those actions will be captured. How can I monetize those actions? Okay. So what happens is a customer in Doha, Qatar, he goes to Google using his iPhone, and he is on Vodafone Qatar network, and he searches on the Google for a Adidas shoes or a sport shoes. So once he searches for a Nike or Adidas, that data is captured. On the basis of data, the tool or the software says that he is interested in buying a sport shoes. On the basis of that, a message, like what will now happen is a message is ready, which is to be sent. After 2 days, he drives and goes to a mall. The moment he goes into the mall ka parking, he gets a message on his mobile, okay, like in the mall on the second floor, shop number 205 sells sport shoes. And that pushes him to go and take that action. So he goes and sees the shoes there. And if he likes the shoe, then it results into unlock of value, because then the revenue happens. And if that revenue happens, then the share of commission comes to the telecom operator as well. So all of these elements are important when you talk about implementation of a continuous control monitoring or various type of design. Okay, and there are cases which you can keep on talking, n number of cases. So a large PSU oil and gas major, petrol and diesel and fuel ka price changes at 12 in the night. So at 11:59, what rate was applied? At 12:01, what rate was applied on the invoice? Automated by writing a query, so that you can get the, as an internal auditor, statutory audit, you can get the query and you can look at it. When you touch 5,000 metric tons, then you will get so much discount, and 10,000 metric tons, so much discount. So the volume discount calculation is correctly done or not. That can be checked by the query. Okay. Now, so much money comes in the CTTL tank at the overseas, and from that tank, every tanker carries 5 metric ton or whatever it is to the location. So how many tankers went from that tank, and how much was the evaporation loss, and how much was really delivered to the client and billed to the client, and how much came from the ship. Now, every time to keep on doing on an Excel or a manual, it becomes difficult, and those type of analytics can also be done, because what came from the invoice was captured, what went out from the invoices was captured, and comparison for that unique code number or that tanker number can be done. So earlier we were in a time where descriptive analysis, what happened after the happening, then we moved to diagnostic analysis, why did it happen, and we started doing correction. Now we are doing productive analysis, and we are saying what will happen. And there is a stage where people are talking about prescriptive analysis. How can I make it happen? If I want so much sale, what will I have to do? If I want the person to go and see this movie, how will I have to do the advertisement? If I want this person to start this hotel in so and so, how will I ensure that there are customers, and how do they know about that, and X and Y? So how to make it happen? Okay. There's some illustrative tools for various things I will share. So on the analytics, data analytics is very, very important for us. IDEA, ACL, ready-made tools available. And I'm given to understand with IDEA, ICI signed an MOU also. MOU is on the ICI website. It is signed with IDEA, Casware, Canada. And if you give your firm FRN number, the firm registration number, first year charges is 50,000 plus GST, and second year onwards renewal charges is 10,000. N number of customers you can use on, N number of queries you can write on, and you can do that. And at WRC, we even conducted a training last 10 days back on IDEA tool for 3 hours on a Saturday morning. And we charge only 500, and a 30 days free tool was given by the company also. So analytics, multiple stages, continuous control monitoring, manage analytics, and analytics as a driver, etc. A lot of things can be done. Let me go ahead now. I'll not spend much time on this one. And continuous control monitoring platform, I think I have discussed about. I'll leave a couple of slides for you to read through. Let me go ahead. Okay. And data readiness, people and process readiness, technology, and then approval, and then implementation. See, this is one slide where, like, as an organization, if your client wants to do any analytics or any type of reporting or any type of whatever, do they only want to take the internal data from SAP, Oracle, Tally? Yes. They want to take data from the mail. Okay. They want to take data from the Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter. Yes. They want to take the data from the Google or the Global Drive, from where the data is required to be taken, data source. Okay. Sorry. Then all the data, how will it be collected, and which folder it will be put into? So it will get collected, or it will get into this data warehouse, the data folder. After that, once the data is stored, then you will have to write the various tools, okay, whether it is R or SQL and what type of queries you want to write. Now, once you configure all the queries and the tool, then you have this reporting dashboard level. And once the reporting happens, then you decide, okay, whether it is a finance risk, operation risk, technology risk, whether you want to send to customer care, whether you want to send to finance, whether you want to send to HR, which data you want to send to whom. And on that basis, it will go whether to the computer or to the mail or to the mobile. So this is how the whole the customer experience management or the data analysis or the continuous control monitoring is stacked up. And that is how are the various layers which are designed. Now, I will just run through a few of the slides fast because I want to spend some 10 minutes on RPA and then we'll spend 10 minutes on the questions as well. So like I said, when you look at the payment dashboard, like sequence gap, difference between the payment and the invoice, stratification, volume, average pay per day, holiday payments, X, Y, Z, different type of queries you can write, different type of dashboards you can create. You can plug and play all of them if you're using an R or an SQL, and you can get all of these which can be put directly. HCL IDEA also gives you all of these. Same vendor with different different type of dashboards which you can get. You can even do audit committee reporting through using these dashboards. Okay, audit committee reporting can also be done, and there are these type of dashboards which come out from Tableau. So all your data from this data warehouse can go into the viewing layer, and the viewing layer you can have anything, country wise, port wise, business wise, depot wise. If there are 20 depot in a pharma company and you're doing a CNFA audit, you can get all the data. You can do the analytics of the various commission, the various like what do you say, which depot, how much expiry stock is there, how much credit notes was given, how many sales guys are there, and how much money do they spend on this thing. If they do a monthly meeting, how much do they spend on that? How many pharmacies or doctors they visited in this month? Each sales guy wise analysis can be done. Each depot wise analysis can be done. Country wise analysis can be done. So multiple dashboards, multiple reports can come out if there are multiple countries, multiple location, etc. And in different forms. You need to design what you want to compare with where. And if data is there and data is put into the right time of solution and you have a front end viewing tool, then you can do this. In the audit committee deck, we also show what is the audit plan, how many audits have been completed, how many audits are pending, how many are in WIP, how many observations are given, how many observations are closed, how many observations are overdue, how many are open, low, medium, and high. All of these come by way of dashboard. So again, let me go to the conversational tool, and I'm sure we've experienced conversational tool, and we have Alexa, right? And we have Siri, right? What does it do? We just go and say, Alexa, tell me where can I get this medicine? Alexa, tell me how can I book this? Alexa, give me address of so and so. And Alexa gives you, because Alexa again recognizes your voice, converts it into that whatever, goes and does the search, and it gets you the data and it gives it to you. Okay, so this is being used, and of course this can be used wherever in multiple places. So in a client, when the client is telling these days, yeah, I want to etc., etc. There are multiple of these tools which will be used. Somewhere this, somewhere process mining, somewhere data analytics, somewhere continuous control. Multiple things will have to be used, and some illustrative tools on each of these layers which I showed. On risk management, on planning and sample selection, on process walkthrough, like as a Salone, there is PAF now, there is so and so, Rockestra. Then there is like on the RPA, there are UiPath, etc. So all of these tools are there. You can search on Google and get most of them have got their videos, etc. Presentation on robotic process automation, and I will try to complete this aspect in maybe 5, 7, 10 minutes, and then I will be happy to take the questions as well. So instead of, let me stay on this slide, and instead of saying what and reading all this English can be read later on also. So like a robotic process automation, RPA, for a simple layman, there are 3 tools which are available. One is UiPath, second one is Automation Anywhere, and third one is Blue Prism. Three companies give RPA, bot, as we call normally bot. Otherwise, the full form is robotic process automation. Now, these bots are 2 types. One is a programmer bot and one is a runner bot. Runner bot जो काम करता है, programming bot जिसके through programming हो सकता है. Now, bank reconciliation. So bank reconciliation, normally what do we do? Bank statement and bank book. जो इधर डेबिट में है उधर क्रेडिट में है कि नहीं, जो इधर क्रेडिट में है वो उधर डेबिट में है कि नहीं. We do the comparison on the basis of check issued, check number, voucher number, some unique number, and we compare. Now, when I give it to my article clerk for 800 line item, वो 2 दिन लगाता है. In 1.5, 2 days, he does 1 bank reconciliation. Here you can have a RPA and you can write the query. So the programming bot will be used for writing the query, and the runner bot will run and do the bank reconciliation. Now, while running the programming, you will say, okay, like take debit from here, credit from here, check this with this, check this with this, on the basis of this, क्या बोलता है, on the number of check, instrument number, etc., date, comparison, all of those. Now, in a bank book, there could be 12,150.50 paisa, and there it could be 12,151. You can also say like decimal ko round karke compare, and it will compare, match, and it will say reconcile. Whatever you write, it will do that. When you say run, now there are 2 types. If I'm a risk-taking guy, I will share my user ID password with the bot, and the bot will go to the bank book, tally, etc. Put the user ID password, download the bank book, save it into the folder, exit. Go to the bank portal, download the bank statement and exit, and then start doing the comparison. Or otherwise, I don't want to share my user ID password, then I will have to download myself the bank book, bank statement, put in a folder, and then say run. The moment I say run, the bot will go to that folder. I can even say that when I say run, go to the mail and look at the subject line. The bot will go through your inbox, search the subject line. In the subject line, if you written bank book and bank statement for the month of so-and-so, it will take both the files, save it, and it will start doing a bank reconciliation. Now, the bot will complete this bank reconciliation of 800 line item, which your article clerk takes 1.5 days in less than 1 minute, 58 seconds. So that work is done by the runner bot. The runner bot completes 1 bank reco, goes to 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. What can be done? Invoices can be processed by a bot. Bank reconciliation can be done by a bot. Payroll can be processed by a bot. In a pharma company or any company where there are a lot of sales guys who keep on traveling, all the travel claims can be cleared or processed by the bot. So all of these RPA, robotic process automation bot, these are the practical implementation. You can help your client in implementing all of these, because we know what is to be taken where and what is to be checked with what, and the coding company will come and do the coding. So I think now again, higher quality, faster efficiency, etc., rapid turnover, whatever. Now this also gives you how much time is saved. 93% reduction in processing time. Okay, that is what it says. And it says so many man hours, and the study is available for each of the company, tells you in each of the process how much can be done. And UiPath or Blue Prism also has got, see, RPA. In the interest of time, if you don't want to run through the whole video, it will be 2-3 minutes, but let me proceed ahead. So that is a bot, and through RPA, lot of things which are routine can be automated. So now, again, there are multiple things, and if someone has implemented RPA, how do you do the audit, or why do you audit the RPA? With that, I think I am done. I am saying that there is so much more, and people have already started adopting, and they have adopted also, and we can also get done. So with that, let me stop here, and back to you, Krishna or Seema.
Hello. Very nice presentation. Hello. If anyone has questions, please either raise your hands or you can write the questions in the chat box.
Sir, you referred a tool about the idea.
Yes.
Can you just brief us on that tool, and whether the source data can be, which are the format in which source data has to be? Normally, majority of the SME clients have a program, Tally or similar type of at least accounting software which they are using. So whether idea software, whether will be a helpful in that sort of at least data environment. Can you just brief us?
See, idea software has got some pre-written queries. So like normally when I am doing a statutory audit for a small client, and so like when I select my sample, I do the whole process checking for that sample. Whether there is a requisition, whether there is order, whether material is received, whether invoice is processed, and we do a three-way matching. So all this query is written. Now what you need to do is, from the tally, the data is extracted, and you can run the query in IDEA, and IDEA will give you the exception report, and the exception report will be like, okay, there are 5 purchases where there was no purchase order. Okay, or there were 10 items where material was received, goods received, notice prepared, but there is no purchase order. Or otherwise, like say, it will also tell you that the invoice was received and the payment was made on the same day or next day, and the difference between, if you are saying 30 days credit period, it will tell you less than 30 days so many payments were made. So those are type of things. Okay, so whether it is Tally or whether it is Zoho or whether it is X or Y, it does not matter. IDEA and ACL are simple and basic audit software which can be used. Now, in fact, it is a multi-user, and if you want, you can write lot more queries. आप अपने हिसाब से और कोई query लिखना चाहते हो तो उसमें लिख सकते हो.
So whether at the data entry input level, there has to be a certain symmetric data input. If data input is not in a particular fashion, whether it will make a difference in data analytics at the time of at least giving the results.
See, sir, what will happen? Okay, like if in your client they have enabled purchase requisition, so then requisition number hai, order number hai, or GRN, when they make goods receipt note, they have to select the PO. Now, assuming you are saying that my client is very small, there is no purchase requisition, there is no purchase order, no problem. Do they have a goods received note? Then the process will start from there. They don't have goods received note also. They have directly invoice. Okay. Then the queries will be limited on the basis of data captured. But invoice number has to be in serial number, right? If there is a system generated, some invoice is not there, then how many cancelled? Whether any purchase invoice was, if your client says that Sunday is closed, and if the purchase invoice is processed on Sunday, you can get that query. And if for the same invoice 2-time payment is made, same amount in the same month, that exception can come. So there are those type of exceptions which can come. Similarly, if you want to check depreciation, you want to check interest. See, at times what happens is, like bank debits interest into the bank statement. Does the client or his accountant calculate whether the interest charged by the bank is correct or not? But these are simple utilities available. In that utility, you upload the date and the balance of the bank statement. It will calculate the interest and tell you, okay, this should be the interest and this is the amount charged. You can compare. So that also type of query can be run in ACL or IDEA. Okay. ACL, IDEA are basic. They are very friendly. And when you buy the software, they'll give you some presentation training also. And that can be used for smallest of small client and biggest of big client also.
So as you referred that there was some training session for ACL or IDEA conducted by WRC. Is there a similar sort of training session in a near future for, because majority of the SME practitioner are in a, at least because they have not used that sort of a tool, and without at least having certain amount of training or understanding of the tool, they will not like to venture and invest the amount, at least in that sort of a tool.
Sir, IDEA, ICI at central level has got an MOU with IDEA, and it was signed in 2017. And as per that, we get a discounted price. So that is one. And hence what we did is, like we did the IDEA training, and this time we bargained with him. We told him, like, you are going and like in a way marketing your product with WRC. You are not paying a sponsorship, but you give 30 days free IDEA software to each and every participant. And 320 participants were there, and everyone got 30 days free IDEA software, which they could use. So it was downloaded on their PC. And then on that Saturday, 10-to-1 training was done. Now, similarly, there is one more tool called eCAT. So the owner of eCAT is a chartered accountant from Bangalore. So we are talking to him. And if that works out, we will conduct one training on that. That is one. And since, sir, you touched one subject, I am taking 1 more minute with the permission of the convener and co-convener. So like now, these days, what is happening is, like we are sitting at home, our staff is also sitting at home, and we want to access data of the client and everything.
Yeah.
So on 17th of the month, there was one guy, he did a presentation on Smart Room. So we had a training session on work from home and tools and technique. And Smart Room is a solution where, like say, assuming a Union Bank of India buys the Smart Room solution. Smart Room is a space on the cloud. And Union Bank then creates various folder that, okay, JB Nagar branch or Kandivali East branch or Kalyan branch or Thana West branch. So for that branch, they will tell their manager or the team to upload all the data, relevant data onto their branch folder. And the auditor or his article clerk will have access so that he can check the data there only. He can do the audit, he can make the table, okay, like of all the calculation and put the report there, and that they can download. And then if I have got any query, I can get on a video call and discuss with them. Now, but this solution, he made the presentation, but his solution is very, very costly. So we said that this cannot be bought by a CA. Only a client can buy and he can give access to CA. But if the CA who is filing return of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 or doing tax audit or a GST audit of 20,000, how will we use that? So now we have identified one more guy. He is CA Lalit, and he's got one more software similar type, and he is coming at a very affordable price. So we are at WRC bargaining. Today evening I got a call with him. And once we bargain, then we'll talk to maybe the central committee and try to sign an MOU so that it will be available to the all the CS. And I can tell you initially is it will be about 3,000 rupees a month. Okay. You can buy the space on the cloud. You can create client-wise folder, and all the data can also be saved there so that backup ka bhi jhamela khatam. And you can give your access to your article clerk to the particular client folder, and they can do the work there, and it will be saved there.
Okay.
So we are working on few other things like that. Yes, sir.
And sir, regarding that Celonis, which you referred, initial tool.
Yeah.
It is available on that service software like, or it has to be bought?
It has to be bought.
It has to be bought. Okay.
So like videos are available for you to understand what are the features, but you can use only after you buy. Okay. Now, there is one question here in the chat box. So Rajendra Modi ji is saying like, are these software available through ICI joint effort? Of course, like I said, IDEA is available, and we are talking to a couple of them. So one more CA has come up with a utility for 15 CA CB. So now you know that dividend distribution tax, again the company will have to distribute dividend. So many forms are required to be prepared. So what you can do is you can put everything in Excel and just upload, and all the 15 CA CB will be automatically created. So we are bargaining with him, and we are bargaining for as low as 10 rupees per form.
Okay.
So you can, you can use that utility. But see now, once at WIRC, if they come and meet us, we discuss, bargain, and Lalit bhai, Manish bhai, all of us, we put a lot of offers. But then ultimately, WIRC has got some limitation. We have to go to the ICI at Central, and then ICI can sign contract for all CS across India. But at least I can tell you these three things. One is a smart room solution, a data room solution we will do. One is this 15 CS CB we will do. And this, like we have IDEA, we are trying to do with one or two other analytic tools also. So that will be available. Celonis, etc. I am not very sure. Now, we also received a lot of requests for RPA type of thing. So Automation Anywhere, we are talking to Automation Anywhere University to conduct a training on RPA for our members. If that comes through, we'll announce that also at WIRC. Before I end, Krishna ji, there is one more query which has come here, and Rasen Clark is asking, can you show a sample query? See, I cannot show you a sample query right now, but see, the queries will be like, they will have to be depending on the language in which we write. Okay. What I'm saying is, as a CA, what will we do? And you, like say, take any other example. Like I'm taking a simple example like 216 and SS or T. In 216 and SS and T, what I want to check, how much loan has been given in cash. So if there is a cash entry and if the amount is so much, then it will be picked up and it can be seen. If I want to see more than 10,000 cash payment, a query can be written. So what you need to do is on the cash book payment side, anything more than 10,000 will have to be picked up. And now once that is picked up, whether it is capital or OPEX or etc., from the base of narration, that also it can be done. If you write the query and if the narration is captured properly. So the more the good data is captured, the more less exceptions you will have and less manual work you will have to do. Now, as a CA, what you can do is, what is the requirement, what can be picked up from where, what needs to be checked, that you can do. And someone will have to write that query for us. And that query, if I write, I can buy a R, which is free of cost, or if I want to buy an SQL, then it is a licensed product. I'll have to write and I'll know the coding. Okay, and we'll have to do the coding and we'll have to do it. That is what I would say. So I think at least on the chat box, those were the things. Anything else? Krishnaji, Seema, over to you.
One query is there. I think you answered this as to how to write query in any software.
Sorry, I did not understand how to.
How to write query in any software.
Yeah, so I try to explain that. See,
yes.
Like,
okay.
Basically, there are two aspects. One, what to compare with what. That is, we know. And then the programming language will have to be known. Whatever programming language we use, we'll have to write in that programming language. And I will give one more example to explain to Rasen Clark for his query. So Rasen, like say now in a telecom operator, I was doing one assignment. In a prepaid का मतलब क्या होता है कि 10 रुपए का वाउचर लिया, रिचार्ज किया, I should be able to use call or SMS or data for up to 10 rupees. Can I have anything more than that, negative balance? Can I use for 11 rupees when I have recharge for 10 rupees? So we wanted to check that in the audit. So we wrote SQL query and we said like when the balance in the customer account, if it is less than 0, and on the whole database, the query was run and they told us what was the negative. And we identified that the customer had overused. And then we analyzed that. And what we found out is like assuming I have done recharge of 10 rupees. And when I have balance of 2 rupees, and if I send a SMS for downloading a ringtone or a voice which is costing 50 rupees ringtone, because there was a gap between the ringtone is saved on the server of the service provider. So the SMS goes from here to that server. The server then downloads that and makes it available, and then the deduction happens. In the meanwhile, if the customer has done some international call and used up the balance, then the download has already happened, but the balance is not there to recover. So it goes into minus negative because there was a timing gap between the two servers, the telecom operator and the service, the ultimate vendor of this thing. So this came up. So I'm saying, what do you want to write? That you will have to write, and coding will have to be done by someone who is technical. Okay. So that is how I would like to solve that query. I think I am done. Over to you guys again.
Thank you, Murtaza bhai, for such an excellent presentation. Today's webinar speaker, our own regional council member and WRC secretary, Murtaza Kanchwala ji, has very well covered today's topic, that is next generation audit tools. He had covered several tools. Just to name a few, RecordSure as recording tool, Kira as document management tool, conversion tools like Alexa, Siri, etc., and robotic automations, UiPath, and etc. After listening to you, sir, for 2 hours, we are in different world, and now we are thinking that we need to improve a lot in the field of IT, and several automations are required in our office. On behalf of JB Nagar CP Study Circle, I propose a hearty vote of thanks for the today's excellent presentation by Murtaza bhai, and a very thanks to you for you had taken so much time, and we are now we had very good learning in today's session. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful session, Murtaza ji.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.